Hello dear students, welcome back to the video lecture of class 7 science, and today we are going to learn chapter number 7, that is weather, climate and adaptations of animals. So students, this is the part first of this chapter, and in this chapter you are going to learn about weather and weather conditions, climate and adaptations of animals to the climate. Like students, you have listened about the penguins, the polar bear, they are living in the cold climate, whereas the animals like the camel, these are living in the hot desert area. Whereas there is some animals like the toucan bird, the long-tailed monkey, elephant, and many more animals. These are living in the tropical rainforest. So, in this chapter, you are going to learn that how these animals made their self for easy survival in that areas. So let's find out one by one. But in this part, you are going to learn about the weather, and we will also see a weather report, that in a weather report what things we will know when we are observing any weather report. Then we will learn the components of weather, like what things makes the weather perfect. Then we will learn the factors responsible for life existence on earth. This is very important topic because in this topic you will be able to know about that what is the layer that surrounds the earth and from which material it is made up of. The layer that I am talking here, it is the ozone layer. So in this part you are also going to know about the ozone layer, and there are many more factors which are responsible for the existence of life on the earth. Then you will learn the maximum and minimum thermometer. Students, in the previous chapter, that is in the chapter heat, you have studied that there is the clinical thermometer, laboratory thermometer, which are used by the doctors and in the laboratory respectively. But this maximum minimum thermometer, it is other kind of thermometer which is used to measure the temperature of a day. Like here its name represents you the maximum and minimum thermometer. That means by the help of this thermometer you will be able to know that what is the maximum temperature of the day and what is the minimum temperature of the same day. Then you will learn the comparative analysis of temperature of rural and urban areas. So students, the temperature variation in the rural and urban area is quite different. Like when you are moving toward the rural area, there you will find cold temperature is there, you will find some calmness there. But in the urban area you will find that there is the temperature is all the time, or the maximum time you will find the temperature that is hot. Okay, so this is due to the formation of concrete jungles. And what are concrete jungles, we will also going to learn in this part. So let's start our topics one by one. So firstly students, as you can see in this image, here you will find some vocabulary, that what vocabulary you will use for representing the different weathers. Like here there is the sunny weather, as this will represent you that the sun is present. Okay, and here this will represent the rainy weather. Here this is the windy weather, hot weather, cloudy, stormy, snowy and cold. So these are the different types of weather that are known as the weather vocabulary. Okay, and we will use these terms in this chapter. So this is important for us to know that how you will represent these weather in the image form, and you will also observe this weather images in the weather report, right? So let's find out what the weather reports tell us. So here first we will know what is weather. So how you can define a weather? That is the day-to-day condition of the atmosphere at a particular place at a particular time with respect to the temperature, pressure and humidity, wind speed, wind direction, sunshine, clouds, rainfall, snowfall, and there are many more components of weather. So all these components, all these things will define that what the weather is going to be of that day at a particular place. Okay, and this is known as the weather of a place at that time. So this weather, it will tell us the day to day condition. We get the information of day to day, right? Like what the weather is going to be of a particular day, that will be the information we get from these different types of parameters which are used to identify the weather. Like the parameters which are used to define the weather are the temperature, that you know there is the two you will know the temperature in the maximum and the minimum term. Like when the temperature is maximum during the afternoon time, you will find the reading should be high, the thermometer reads high, that is, whereas in the night time or in the morning time you will feel the coldness. This is because when the earth get hot, or the area get hot due to the presence of sunlight at that area, when the sun rays falls on that area, the sun rays, it will emitted again, it will goes back again from that area, and it will take some time. So night is the time when the sun rays, when the hotness is going back again, and when the morning comes, the temperature is again going to be less. Okay, so this will be the maximum at during the afternoon time you will get the maximum temperature, and during the in the morning time you will get the minimum temperature. And then you will also say that the atmospheric pressure, it also defines the day. Then we have wind speed. Like when the wind speed is so high, you will say that it is the stormy day. When wind speed is so low and the sun rays is falling on you, then that at that condition you will feel so hot. Okay, so like these this is the definition of weather. It will tells you the day to day condition. Then the weather forecast. So how the weather is forecast? Like here you will see this sun, it will, this image of the sun shows you that the day is to be sunny. Okay, sunny day, it will represent you. And here this image of the cloud, it will show you that the day is going to be cloudy. Okay, the clouds are there in on that particular day. Then you will be see that in the third image there is the partly cloudy, so that means there is more cloudiness in the environment, and the sun is also there, but the rays are not directly reaches to us, the rays are not efficiently reaches to us. So on that day you will say that it is the partly cloudy day, and here that will represents you the clear day. Then this is the partly cloudy again. Okay, and the rain, for representation of rain, the weather forecast, it will show this type of image for representing the rainy day. Like the cloud, then we have to mark some water droplet from it also. And the thunderstorm, for representing it, we will mark the lightning effect. We will show the lightning effect by the cloud. So for these are the representations in the form of pictures which are used in the weather forecast. Then weather report tell us that what should be the temperature, that we will say the maximum or the minimum temperature of that particular day. Okay, and it will also tell us that what will be the humidity is going to be at that day. Humidity means the presence of moisture in the air. Okay, that will also defines the weather of that particular place at particular time. So humidity, it is very essential or very important factor for the for defining the weather. And what is humidity? So it is the moisture content, or it is the water vapor content in the air. Okay, so it is the moisture content. Then the rainfall, weather report also tell us that whether the rain is happening at a particular place or not. So this will also, you will also able to know about it is the rain is happening or not. Then the weather report tells us the sunrise time and the sunset time, when the sunrise is going to be or when the sun is going to be set. So this information is very important, okay, and we will get from the weather report very easily. And this will also tells us the moon rise and moon set. And the weather report also predict that what the weather is going to be on the next day. Okay, so the prediction is also done by the weather report. And do you know where is the meteorological department of India? It is situated in the Lodi Road, New Delhi. And where is the World Meteorological Department? So the headquarter of World Meteorological Department is Geneva, Switzerland. Okay, so students, the weather forecasting or the weather report we will get. Okay, so this will given out by the Indian or the Indian Meteorological Department. So this will releases the weather, the if there is any chance of cyclone at any place. So this is the work of the meteorological department. This tell us that what is the weather, what is the climate of any particular place is going to be. Then what are the components of weather? Components of weathers are, it is the temperature, the atmospheric pressure, the wind speed, humidity, the moisture content in the air, the precipitation, that means the rain, and the cloudiness. So these are the components of a weather. So these together, these components describe the weather at any place. Like students, the weather plays the important role in our life. In the cold weather, what we will do, we protect ourselves by wearing woolen cloth, right? Whereas in the hot weather, what we are doing, we use certain cooling devices, like we are using fan, we are using cooler, air conditioner to keep ourselves cool. And in the rainy season, what we are doing, yes, we wear raincoats, we use umbrellas, okay, to protect ourselves from the rain. And also when the weather is so good, so what we are doing, We plan many of our day to day activities on the basis of prevailing weather conditions. Like we plan a picnic on a cool, pleasant, and cheerful day, but we are not planning a picnic in a hot day, okay? And also, we even plan a trip to a hilly station or any other place after taking into account the weather condition of that place. Okay, firstly, we have to know that what the weather is going to be at that place. Then we will plan that either we have to go there or not. Okay, so this information is very important for us. Now, let us know what are the factors which are responsible for the existence of life on Earth. So, firstly, students, the very important factor is the average temperature. Like students, if the temperature is so less, okay, then at that less temperature also we can't survive. Like the temperature in the space, there the temperature is less, okay, and our astronaut, they will not easily survive in that area, in the space, so they have to use some safety measures there. And also the reverse of it, like if the temperature it is so high, in that condition also we can't survive, okay. But here we are able to survive on our planet, that is on the earth, only because the average temperature of earth, okay. So the average temperature of earth, it is 30 degree, and this is the major cause for the existence of life on it, okay. Now here, as you know students, that in the planet Neptune, okay, so there what is happening, it is there is the temperature is very less, okay, it is the gas of ice, as you can say. So there you can't survive easily, okay, because the temperature is so low. And as well as the temperature like the mercury, there also you can't survive because it is very close to the sun, okay. So this temperature, it plays major role in the existence of life, okay. And it needs the average, it should be the average temperature there. Like here on the earth, the average temperature is 30 degree, so we will easily survive here. Then the second important thing is the layer of carbon dioxide and water vapor which surround the earth, that it is present in the atmosphere, okay. The presence of atmosphere, it is very important for the survival of life on that earth, on our earth, okay. So in the atmosphere, you know that the atmosphere, it is made up of gases, okay, and like the carbon dioxide, like the water vapor, the oxygen, nitrogen, so all these gases are very important. And this carbon dioxide, it is one of them. Carbon dioxide, what it will does for us, okay, what it will do for us, like the carbon dioxide, it will trap the sunlight, okay, and keep it. So in that way, this will absorb the sun's energy and provide warmness to our surrounding, okay. So trapping of sunlight, it is done by the carbon dioxide. And if the carbon dioxide is not there, then the sun energy, it is not absorbed on earth, okay, and this is hazardous to us. So that is why carbon dioxide is very essential for the survival of life on earth. The next thing is the ozone layer. That ozone layer, I was talked about it, like the ozone layer, it is present in the stratosphere, okay. And this ozone layer, it will protect our earth from the harmful radiations. Like the sun, it will releases many radiation, it will releases like the infrared rays, ultraviolet rays, and many more type of rays. So there is some harmful rays that is also coming to us, and this ozone layer, it will protect it, Okay, it will not allow that harmful rays to enter the earth atmosphere. Okay, so therefore the ozone layer is very important for us. Like students, the one of the harmful rays, that is the ultraviolet rays. Okay, so this ultraviolet rays, it causes skin cancer. So suppose if there is no ozone layer is present, then what is happening? The ultraviolet rays, it comes to us, and it when it fall on our skin, it will cause a skin cancer. Okay, so this ozone layer, it will protect us from the ultraviolet rays. The second important thing is the earth's axis of rotation. Okay, you know students, when you will see the globe, you will find that the earth is tilted. Okay, the rotation of earth, it is the axis of rotation of earth, it is tilted. Okay, and that is responsible for the seasons that we face, okay, throughout the time. So this is very important. The tiltation is very important, and that is only present in our planet. Okay, so this is very important for us. These are the factors which responsible for the life, existence of life on our planet. Now here let us know about the maximum minimum thermometer. So students, this maximum minimum thermometer, it is also known as sixth thermometer, because it is made by the scientist James Sixth. Okay, and this thermometer is used to measure the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature of the day. As you can see in this image, here this sixth thermometer is present, and this thermometer records the maximum and minimum temperature reached over a period of time, for example the 24 hours. Okay, so it is gives us the temperature, the knowledge of the temperature of a particular day. Then it records the extreme temperature at the location, for instance in the meteorology or in the horticultures. Okay, then what it will do, the thermometer, it will indicates the current temperature as well as the highest and the lowest temperature since the last reset. Okay, and here in this thermometer, the metal index is present. Okay, and this will stay at the maximum temperature records, and this metal index in the minimum thermometer will stay at the minimum temperature records. And this metal index, it will when it is moving, okay, so this will represents us that what is the temperature in that thermometer. Like if the metal index, it is at minus 20 degrees Celsius, that means the temperature is minus 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so there is the metal index in this thermometer. Like this, in this image you can see that this thermometer, it has two bulb. Okay, it has the left bulb and it has the right bulb, as you can see here. And in the right bulb you can see there is the vacuum means the space where nothing is present. Okay, so here in this also there is nothing present in that area, or there is some vapor of alcohol is also there. In some thermometer, vapor of alcohol is also used in that vacuum area. Okay, so this is the minimum temperature. Here as you can see there is a minimum temperature record, and here there is a maximum temperature record, and there is a metal indices, and this may be made up of steel. Okay, so this will move and gives us the reading as per the temperature is that. And yes, there is also mercury filled in it, like you have studied that mercury, it is filled in the laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer both, and here in this thermometer also the mercury is filled. Okay, so whenever the temperature rises, the alcohol, it will expand. Okay, so alcohol, it expand easily when the temperature rises. So as the expansion is happening here, the mercury column, it will also moves. Okay, so mercury column, it is moving, and as in the same way, this metal indices that is present in the vapor or in the alcohol, it is also moving up and down, and this will show the temperature. Like here in this image you can see there is the metal index. Okay, so here it is just in between the 20 and 25, so the temperature that is measured here, that will be 24 degrees Celsius. And here this metal indices, it is present here na, that means it is in between the 35 and 30, so no, it is just in front of 30 degrees Celsius. So that is why the temperature, the maximum temperature that is recorded here is 30 degrees Celsius. So this thermometer is look like here. This will be the maximum side. This will represent, this side represents the maximum reading, and this side represents the minimum reading. Okay, so maximum temperature of the day, we will read it from that side. So the near the maximum thermometer, the capillary tube, the end of it there is the bulb, and that bulb, it has some vacuum. Okay, that bulb have some vacuum in it, and after vacuum there is the alcohol. The alcohol is present. Why we are using alcohol? Because alcohol, whenever it will get the temperature that rises, it will immediately expand. Okay, and with that expansion, the mercury column move upward or downward. Okay, as per the expansion. So in that same manner, that is why this alcohol is used in it. So in that area only there is a vacuum. And here also maximum minimum thermometer, the reading is it should be in the degree Celsius scale or in the degree Fahrenheit scale. Both scales are present. We can measure in any scale. Now let us compare the temperature of urban or rural area. So students, as there is the main difference, the difference in the weather, or the main differences that is observed in that rural or the urban area, which are the temperature. As we know, the temperature of the rural area, it is quite less. Okay, and the rainfall, the wind, precipitation means the rain. So rain is also, the quantity of rainfall, it is also varies between the urban and the rural area. The heat intensity, humidity, soil type, vegetation, and seasonal changes. Okay, so these are the difference that we observe in the rural and the urban area. Okay, but in this chapter you have to learn about the temperature. Why the temperature is less in the rural area as comparison to the um, urban area. Why it is less? Okay, let's find out. So students, as you know that in the urban area the houses are made up of concrete. Okay, you will find more and more houses in the city area. So what is, how it will affect the temperature? Like you know, when there is more and more buildings are present, like here, so what is happening? Once the sun rays is falling on it, okay, that all sun rays are absorbed by it. The absorption is takes place. The sun rays are absorbed, the heat energy is absorbed by this concrete. Okay, so concretes are able to absorb heat energy at a more faster rate as comparison to the green plants, to the grasses. Okay, so here the absorption is done by the concretes, and also the retention. So heat retention means to hold. So the heat retention is also more here. Okay, heat retention means the capacity to hold heat energy is also higher in the concrete. So that is why the first case is what, the more and more heat energy is absorbed by the concrete. Second is what, the retention is more, that means the heat energy is absorbed and it is retained there, okay, for the longer time. Now as opposite to it, what is happening in the rural area, here the plants are more, okay, and in that the absorption is less. Most of the heat it will goes back from that, okay, and also the retention is poor by the plant, okay. So the heat retention capacity of the plant is poor as comparison to the concrete. So that is why here in the rural area the temperature is less. Here in the image, as you can see, there is the concrete buildings, okay. The surface absorb more heat. This concrete, it has capability to absorb more heat, and also it will shows less evaporation. As you know, there is very less land is present, most of the space is occupied by the buildings, and that is why here less evaporation is occur. In the concrete area less evaporation is occurs, and also there is very less transpiration, okay. Transpiration means loss of water through the leaves by the process of photosynthesis. So students, if there is no leaf of it, or if there is very less vegetation or plantation there, that means the transpiration it is also very less in the urban area, okay. So that is why there is the absorption of heat is more, okay, but the evaporation is less in this area. The transpiration is less in the urban area, and that is why the urban area it is hotter, okay, it is hotter than the rural area. But what is happening in rural area, there is more and more trees are present, and that trees and the free lands are present in the rural area, okay. So that land, the evaporation of water is more, okay, and when the water is evaporated it will forms a water vapor. So water vapor is present in that atmosphere, and that is why the people feel cool in that area, okay. And also the transpiration by the plant is also happening there, like there is the trees, the grasses are there. So that is why there is the loss of water through the plant body is also happening, okay. So that all makes the temperature lower in the rural area as comparison to the urban area. So this is all about it. Thank you students, keep on revising.